Hey, welcome to Instant Reaction. It's the Blue Jay Banner post-game show, the original Creighton Blue Jays post-game show. We're live right here on the YouTube channel. Make sure you hit subscribe and like so we can spread the word. Thanks for joining us. We got a great show planned tonight. Myself, fine producer Zach Weaver, and then joining us as he has many times this year, Jerry Lampy. Hey, Jerry.
Hey, guys.
What did you think of the game, man?
Oh, man, crazy. I mean, rarely do you make 18 turnovers on the road and win. But, we shot 62% from the field, so that helped. But definitely the last 5 minutes of the game were key. We were the composed team. We were the best team. We executed best. And, that made a difference. I'm sure the guys feel good about winning tonight. Obviously, some questionable calls. I know you feel like you're getting kind of screwed by the refs, and to be able to grind it out and not lose your composure and finish the game out in the last 5 minutes to win, I think the team is going to feel really good about getting that win tonight.
Absolutely. We want to thank our wonderful sponsors who help us out each and every show, not only here, but on Blue Jay Banner as well. Equitable Bank, we take banking personally. President Doug Nodgard runs a great ship over the Bank of Blue Jay Banner. They've been proudly serving Nebraska since 1882, two great area locations on 20th in Elkhorn and also in the old Mill District just north of the TD Ameritrade headquarters. Also, West Pacific Dental Group. They're my dentist. Dr. Robert Hogan does a great job. His staff is awesome. So check them out as well. And then Infusion Brewing, I hope you got a chance to see our Blue Jay Banner show. We did on Monday because we had Ryan from Infusion on, talked all about the great products they have and all about the beer at the CHI, and talked a lot of Blue Jays and what's coming up with Infusion. Another victory means another time to crack a delicious Let It Fly. 7 in a row now. What did you think was the turnover issue, Jerry?
Some of it was just being a little careless with the ball. Some of it was Seton Hall was being very physical. I mean, they were doing a lot of grabbing, a lot of holding, on defense. It makes it hard to control the ball when you're getting held, when you're getting pushed, and so I think they'll go back and look, and I'd say half it was on us, but when the other team's playing very physical defense, let's call it, you've really got to be strong with the ball and watch your passes, and we got a little bit loose sometimes, but that's what Seton Hall wants to do. I mean, they want to get out there and grab, and they want to make it a bully game and scrap, and they kind of did that for 34 minutes, and then we composure.
Well, two things. One, the officials called it a little differently in the second half.
It was strange. It was bizarre how differently it was called.
They didn't let Seton Hall restrict our movement. That happened twice, and then they called a couple charges, but they also didn't. They called some fouls on them, and then that kind of changed them. They kind of backed off a little bit and weren't quite as aggressive. Of course, they were getting in foul trouble too. But I put on BlueJayBanner.com, by the way, if you're not a member, join up today on our message board, because we got a great message board going on during the games now. It's really a lot of fun. But I put on there, Seton Hall has to have the game officiate a certain way for them to do well. Because what they do on defense is they get into our chest, okay, which is fine. Some teams do. But then the officials won't call a foul. If they officiate like tonight, they won't call a foul when they're restricting our movement. Yet when we move into them when they're in our chest, they fly back and they immediately call a charge.
Oh, yeah.
So it's almost an impossible situation for the offensive team to function, right? You can't have it both ways. If you want to have them in their chest, that's fine, but then you can't restrict our movement. And I think that's kind of how they do it. But let's face it, we were really sloppy with the ball. I mean, a lot of those turnovers, that one in the second half that Trey had, my God, what was he thinking? He just turned and just lobbed it, and there was nobody open. I don't know what you're thinking when you're doing that.
Baylor had some really bad ones as well that just went straight into people's arms.
Yeah. Yeah, Trey made the mistake at cardinal rule of basketball. Don't jump up in the air if you don't know what you're going to do with it. And he jumped up and then tried to flick it back, and the guy was just waiting for it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and the weird thing was he had been driving it really good up until that point in the second half when he did that. That's what surprised me so much.
I think out of the guys that played a lot of minutes, he might have actually had the least amount of turnovers as well, because I was just looking at the stat sheet. He had 8 assists and only 2 turnovers. That's a
turnover. Yeah. Baylor. How many did Baylor have,
That I did not check.
Somebody said he had 7.
It says 6 on the thing here, but that's sometimes
6.
Right, yeah.
All right, well, he probably had 6. I wouldn't doubt that. I haven't got a usually I get those quickly. I get those way ahead of everybody else from Rob on the stat sheet, but he has not put them out because they must be getting ready to get on the plane and get the heck out of there. So, but we'll get them here in a little bit. We'll go over the stats. But yeah, I put on there, and I had to quit watching the game for about 2 minutes there in the first half. I couldn't take it anymore. I'm sorry, in the beginning of the second half. There's nothing that drives me nuts more than turnovers. It's one thing if the other team's playing great defense, but when you're being just totally sloppy.
Yeah.
And I mean, you go nights where you shoot 2 for 20 from 3. Yeah, it's kind of, frustrating and stuff, but I don't get like crazy mad or anything. My wife's like, wow, you're really, I go, yes, I can't stand turnovers. Can't take them. Just can't.
Well, it kept Seton Hall in the game. I mean, I think they had 20. I mean, that's only, but that's what they have to do to be competitive. I mean, they're not going to win a shooting contest against Creighton elite teams, so they have to try to turn the ball over and get easy buckets. So,
yeah, and I get some of them, a few of them were forced, but for the most part, a lot of them just mental errors, sloppiness. Like our spacing was horrible sometimes. Like, geez, you threw that out, and I understand you can't. But if you threw that out, I would have to rank this as one of our better offensive, not just that we shot the ball well, but the way we were moving it against a really tough defense and getting what they were giving us. I thought that was one of our better offensive performances.
Yeah, when they made it there were some terrific swing passes, that led to just wide open threes. Baylor made a living off those tonight. And honestly, to have 19 turnovers and still score 75 points is a marvel in and of itself. I mean, it helps to shoot 61% from the field, 60% from 3. But that's a lot of heavy lifting that you're doing with your shooting percentage if you're getting 19 turnovers.
Well, the big thing was tonight we came right out of the gate, boom, 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 hit 3 shots right in a row. Start the game. That was huge. But the problem was we probably missed 1 shot or 2 shots in the first 8-9 minutes of the game. Yeah. But we turned it over so much.
Yeah, there were like 6 turnovers in the first 10 minutes.
What did we have? How many did we have in the first half? 10?
10.
So we gave, and I think they had 2, so that's 8 possessions we gave. Like, I get that's a team that struggles to score. Although, I want to tell you, I've been watching him like the last couple weeks. That Dawes has been playing out of his mind. He's been playing great for them.
Yeah. He was
and
lights
without
out.
him, I don't know. We kind of did shut down the rest of the guys, like from 3. I thought Richmond missed a couple easy ones there in the second half that he normally makes. The first half we just let him get downhill too easy. You just can't do that with him. But obviously they got in foul trouble just like we did. So the difference was we took our guys out with 2 fouls. They left their guys in, and then they picked up a 3rd. He picked up a 4th. That was when I quit watching for a couple minutes. I almost lost this shirt. The shirt was threatened to be benched for life, and then it decided it was going to play a little more in the second half. Can you tell I'm just a little bit superstitious?
Just a little, yeah.
Everybody
You're
that's
talking
gone
about
to a
that last game too, yeah.
everybody that's gone to a game with me knows I am, because I have to sit in a certain seat.
Yep. Yep, that, and you were talking about last game, you were ready to take off your sweatshirt.
Yep, I
When
did.
Nova
I took it off.
you
Then
took
we
your
went on a
sweatshirt
run.
off, yeah, when Nova started coming back, yeah.
I was actually looking for my lucky shirt tonight. I couldn't find it, so I went with this one again, and it came through for me. So there we go. Now, I don't think I've mentioned on instant reaction the reason for my superstition.
I
Okay,
don't think so, no.
so I have 4 seats there, and I used to have 3. And there was an NIT game against Rhode Island. Well, for the NIT game, you could buy any seat in the arena. You didn't necessarily need to get your seats. But we got our seats. Somebody already got the first 2 in my row. So I took 2 other buddies. So then we had to sit in seats 3, 4, and 5. So we didn't get those 2. So we go to them before the game and say, hey, would you mind? These are usually our seats. These are kind of our lucky seats. The guy just looks at me and goes, no, these are my seats. All right, we're going to be that way. Okay, I got it. So we're playing Rhode Island. We're down 17 points in the second half, and they're shooting free throws. This couple decides to leave. We immediately go over. I sit in my seat. The guy misses 2 free throws. We come back and we win. That was the genesis of it. I've never changed since.
Was that in 2008?
I probably. It was Jerry, you remember the coach for Rhode Island, his kid played? He was just an unbelievable shooter.
Yeah, what was his name?
Yeah, I can't remember the guy's name or the kid's name. I want to say Gannon or something like that.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, he was a great shooter. God. Barron.
Barron, that's right. Okay.
Yes.
March 18th, 2008.
Yep, there we go. Yep. We came from 17 down to win. You know, I got to tell you, moving to the Big East, we've had just so many memorable moments. But hardly anything can top some of those NIT games we had when we were in the Valley. I mean, that game was unbelievable. The Kentucky game was unbelievable.
Yep. Jody Meeks.
The tornado warning that day.
Yeah. I forgot about that because as a kid, I was really, really scared of tornadoes. And so I remember
in the arena,
walking in.
Off.
The sky was all green. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. Wow.
Whatever happened to that coach?
He went down to Tarleton State now.
Wow.
He made a couple other stops, but he's at Tarleton State. I think he's still there. They had a pretty good team. I mean, pretty good in general terms, relative terms, right? But, anyway. All right, we've probably talked enough about Tarleton State and the NIT. Jays win. What a huge win. It really looks cool now when after Marquette's loss, you look at that standings and you're like,
yep, third
there
place.
is only one team that we got to get another loss to since we're done playing Xavier. And they've got some tough games coming up. They've got Marquette. They've got Providence. I think they've got Villanova. They're playing tonight. Who's the player played DePaul tonight? No, are they?
Nova plays DePaul.
Oh, Nova's playing DePaul. Yep. I think Xavier's off this week, but they've got some losses in them, especially without Fremantle.
Yeah.
So, it really's pretty cool to see that now that we're in the we're only one game out of the loss column. All right, it's time for Coach's Corner. Joining us tonight is assistant coach Ryan Miller. Hi, Coach.
How you guys doing?
I don't know, Coach. We're doing pretty damn good.
It's always good to win, isn't it, guys?
You'll appreciate this. I'm cracking a let it fly here in honor of the victory.
I appreciate it. Yeah, that's what we did tonight. 12 of 20 from 3. That's letting it fly.
Yeah, it is. It was nice to get a great shooting performance from 3 on the road. But I thought we were just talking about it. I thought the start was key. I mean, we hit those first 3 shots and boom, we're off to the races. And golly, I don't think we missed a shot in the first 10 minutes other than 1 or 2, but we just could not stop turning it over.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, turnovers a little bit, got them out there in transition, and they were able to convert in transition. Our defense wasn't great early, but we fixed it as the game got going, and we got a little more grittier and a little more tougher, and we made the adjustments that we needed to make, and we got out of here with the W.
Now, even Xavier game, I'll say this over the Xavier game. Tonight really, to me, felt like a championship team win. You know, you're nip and tuck, nip and tuck, nip and tuck, and then boom, you hit them with that run. You put them away. I mean, that's what championship teams do.
Yeah, I mean, we had contributions from everybody that came out there and played. Sharif, Mason, Ben Schultzberg, Brett King. You know, everybody that came in helped us get the W. You know,
Mason played great tonight.
Yes. I mean, that's what you need to get a road win. You need contributions from everybody, and you know, Mason came out, made a few hustle plays, got on the glass a little bit. You know, you do those type of things, the shots seem to fall.
That tie up he had in the second half was enormous because that was our arrow. That was big.
Yeah, that was big, and I think we scored and converted on that possession and that other dive on the loose ball, and he actually was the recipient of the late shot clock 3 by our bench after he dove and got that loose ball. So those two have to play. You know, the basketball guys reward you when you make those plays, and that's what happens.
Yeah. By the way, it was across the court from you. He got absolutely hammered by Richmond on that sideline play. I don't know what they were looking at. Richmond grabbed his arm.
You know, it's Big East basketball. It's physical, and you know, you just have to keep playing no matter how they call it. Mm-hmm.
And I like Kip and I like Potter a lot. I know them both. I love both those guys. But man, we were talking a little bit about Seton Hall's defense. I mean, the way they were kind of calling, especially the first half, Seton Hall likes to get in your chest. And if they don't call restrictive movement, and then every time you try and go forward, they fly back and they're going to call offensive foul. It's kind of tough for the offense to maneuver through that, isn't it?
Yeah, well, Seton Hall's a good defensive team, and they're one of the top defensive teams in the country, not just in the Big East. And you know, they have some schemes and gimmicks that they do that makes it difficult, like any good defensive team does. And, you know, they're going to get in your face and they're going to make you try to get out of control. And if you lead with the shoulder, they're going to fall down. And they're going to get charge calls and you know those type of things. As the game went on, though, we were able to adjust and make plays. We were taking their aggressiveness, using their aggressiveness against them a little bit later in the game, which is kind of the game plan going in.
Yeah. Man, Baylor's made some shots, but I don't think we've seen him go on a run like he did there in the second half.
No, he made 3 big threes, obviously, under the 10-minute mark, I believe they were in the game when we needed, you know, we were struggling maybe a little bit offensively. And he rose up and makes shots, and that's what good players do, and that's what you know, the good teams and good players. And, you know, sometimes when the things aren't working perfectly, someone rises up and makes a shot for you and make you look a little better. And Baylor did that tonight.
I thought the staff did a great job, too. We saw the difference, although they were a little hamstrung because the fouling was in their center position, and they had nobody to guard Kalk if they didn't do something. But, you know, the decision to pull Trey out, so he only had 2 going to the second half, I mean, that was huge because then he was able to operate on the offensive end.
Yeah, well, that's credit to the bench. We had confidence in the bench, the guys coming in, go in and make plays. And, you know, even though they're young, a little bit inexperienced, they're able to come in the game and hold on the lead or even build the lead a little bit. I think we had a 1-point lead at halftime. So it's credit to our guys being ready. And then coach having confidence in those guys coming in and performing those type of minutes in the first half.
Well, yeah. And, you know, I know he struggled. And at the beginning of the year, he's knocking some rust off, and he's kind of struggled and just hadn't got the minutes. But it is really nice to put a guy who's played in the Sweet 16 out there when you get in trouble. You know what I mean?
Oh, no question. Experience is everything. We have a lot of confidence in those guys, and Sharif up the bench. Tonight he was able to step in and make a big shot when he needed it. Also played really good defense against the guy that was getting it going and Dawes a little bit. He was able to guard him and alleviate some of that pressure defensively too.
Man, I was telling these guys, I've been watching Seton Hall quite a bit here the last couple of weeks. That Dawes has been playing he's been playing like that every game the last 2 weeks. He's just been lights out. He was really a tough guard. I mean, I thought R2 was there on the catch a lot of times, and he still made the shot.
They move him around really well. They send him off screens. I mean, he has a lot of experience. A kid that played, you know, many years in the ACC for Clemson. I mean, he has a lot of experience, knows how to use screens. And he knows how to set up screens, and they have big guys that set pretty good screens for him. So it's a tough matchup. I mean, he's going to be moving around a lot, and like I said, he's well conditioned and has a lot of experience. And those two factors, makes him very tough cover.
I don't know if you know this, Coach, but our fans and UConn fans don't get along very well. And this is probably a bigger. I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm going to be on an island alone. This is almost a bigger game to our fans in Nebraska.
Yeah.
They just hate UConn. UConn fans are arrogant. They're the basketball capital of the world. Are you kidding me? Anyway, big game Saturday. Sold out crowd. This is going to be nuts.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be a tough game for us. Obviously, UConn has a reason to be arrogant a little bit. The history of success they've had within that program, how Coach Hurley's coached that program. They're tough. They have a lot of good players. Sanoga, Hawkins, a lot of different ways they can beat you. We're going to be on our A game to get the win at home.
Okay, Coach, can you do me a favor?
Yes, sir.
So when we win the game in the Elite Eight to go to the Final Four, and I say the officiating was pretty sketchy, can you just jump on and go, yes, Tim, it was? Is that the game you're going to do it?
The problem if I do that, I can talk it internal a little bit, but once I put it out there, it's out there for the universe to see it. There'll be a lot of people that don't appreciate that, including people from the Big East. So
I'm joking with you.
I know.
I'm joking with you.
That probably won't happen anytime soon, but yeah. But the refs in this league are going to let you play a little bit, and we have to adapt to it. That's what it is.
Yeah. Well, a team that didn't foul much, we had a lot of fouls in that first half. That's all I'll say. Yeah. So, yeah, it was great. And that, like you said, without Fran tonight, it was great contribution. Ben got some minutes, and we spoke to Ben the other day, and he was telling us about the scout team and how it was so hard for him to be Richmond because he was like, I couldn't shoot it. I'm used to shooting it, and I couldn't shoot it. But he goes, then when we played him, I was like, wow, I see what they were trying to, emulate here.
Yeah. No, we put these guys. I mean, they're our scout guys do an awesome job, and one guy. We have a one guy, our next guy up mentality. So he had some opportunity tonight, but our scout guys are good. Whether it's Ben, Xander, Sammy, all the guys, Evan, Jason Green. These guys do a good job of helping us prepare the starting five, and then also being ready when their number's called. So it's twofold. You have to help us simulate UConn next couple of days, and they have to be ready to get their numbers called. And they've done a good job with that.
How do you simulate Sanogo?
That one's a tough one. That one's a tough one.
You start feeding Xander right now.
Exactly right. We need to feed him a lot. We got pizza in the bus, so we'll give him some of that pizza. A couple pizzas, and hopefully by the time we land, he's gained 20, 30 pounds. But, that one, he doesn't like that scout. Xander will tell you he don't like that scout. He likes the Nungy scout a lot better.
I'll bet.
Those two threes.
All right, Coach. We'll let you get on the bus, get on the flight home. Have a safe flight home.
We appreciate you guys.
All right. Thanks, man.
You guys. Have a good night. Yeah, bye.
That's assistant coach Ryan Miller. Seriously, every time I even broach the officials, he's just like, well, it's the Big East.
He's got to be diplomatic.
Oh, well, they've got a great program, Come on. Hey, you just say, I hate those guys. Jerry, will you be extremely disappointed if Hurley doesn't get a technical Saturday?
He's kind of been calmed down. I haven't seen him go off much.
Ever since that one game earlier this year when he went crazy.
Yeah, you got to wonder if he didn't get a letter from the league or maybe the university president talked to him. I don't know. Maybe he may have got a letter from the official said, dude, we're not going to put up with this anymore. Right. We're just going to tee up. So,
well, I wonder too, I watched some of the Field 68 and Goodman said on there that he's talked to officials and they're just tired of it. They're tired of his act. They're not going to take it anymore. So maybe that word got back to him. And so he's like, okay, I'm just going to hurt our team if I keep doing this, because his brother's kind of settled down.
Yeah.
His brother doesn't get near the tech. He's still on the refs, but he doesn't go crazy like he used to. So
But they're going to come in with a little swagger. They put it to. I didn't get to watch the game last night, but they put it to Marquette. They were up by.
Yeah, they did. They played exceptionally well, man. They just did. They played exceptionally well. They shot the ball well. I mean, just everything was going for them. Again, we spoke about this a couple weeks ago. We're waiting for that night when maybe Marquette has a bad shooting night, and they had a couple and they got away with it.
Yeah,
well, they didn't play very well.
No.
But those games they got away with, they were at home. And if you kind of look at their schedule, they've been kind of making their hay at home.
Yeah.
They haven't played, like I said, they haven't really played the tough teams. I believe they played Providence at Providence and lost, right?
Mm-hmm.
They lost. Now they've lost at UConn. They haven't played us on the road yet, right?
Right.
And I think they've got Xavier at home still.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, they got a break by not having to play Villanova with Moore. I mean, they played them at Villanova. They played them the first game of the year at Nova without Moore and won that game by 2 points. So I think that helped. Looking at the UConn game, $1 million question: will Maxson help for Kalkbrenner when Sanogo's in the game? Are we going to let him go one-on-one again?
I think at first we'll let him go one-on-one
and see how it goes.
Yeah, because I'm not sure that Kalk was 100% back.
You know what?
He was saying he was feeling back. I just don't think his strength was there.
Mm-hmm.
Now tonight he didn't look as good as he had the last few games. He looked like he was having trouble getting off his feet. He got a couple shots blocked in there that he normally doesn't. I was surprised at one underneath. I was surprised he just didn't go up and just dunk it.
The thing that surprises me is how often broadcasters will say that he doesn't have a great back to the basket game. He doesn't go to it a lot, but he has a
Donnie
solid.
Marshall.
He has, but they said it. Casey Jacobson said it as well during halftime, and he has a nice little hook over his left shoulder. And
I think that's because he heard it from Donnie, and they were just trying to help each other out.
Yeah.
Donnie's terrible with stuff like that. He's really bad.
He's more of a role guy for
call.
sure.
I will bet money he will be on the call Saturday.
UConn?
He calls damn near every damn UConn game. Ball hardly does any.
I was about to say the same thing. Yeah.
He's relegated to Butler and St. John's for crying out loud. By the way, did you see that ending last night?
Wow.
No,
I saw where Goodman put out something that Mike Anderson's, got to be on, got to be on the hot seat. But what, they extended to 2027 last year? But
I thought they did give him. Yeah, I thought they gave him a extension. I've watched that replay 10 times. I don't think he tipped that ball. I think the clock started too early. If you watch that, when he passes it, supposedly when they say he tipped it, that ball didn't turn any different. I just, man, in real time, I said, oh my God, they've tied the game.
I didn't get to see it.
So St. John's absolutely blew. They were up 66-61. They let Butler end the game on a 7-0 run, first of all. But they got an absolute gift at the end. The ball tipped off the Butler guys, so there's 0.8 seconds left. They're underneath their own basket. They tried to run the play with 3 seconds left. It didn't work. So they got 0.8 seconds, and Carabello lobs one just up to the rim. And the guy guarding him, the ref had told him, you can't go any further. You can stand right there. But if you go any further, then that's a foul. It's a technical foul. And he kind of did go a little bit further. But anyway, he jumped up, and they started the clock the second the ball went over that guy's hand. And so then everybody's like, well, the clock started too soon. And then they're like, oh, no, I think he actually ticked it. And apparently the ref said he did. I don't know, but yeah, it was tough way to lose for St. John's, because St. John, I watched that whole game. St. John's dominated that game for 38 minutes. I mean, it was 5 to 7 points. It looked like there was no way in the world Butler was going to be able to come back. So St. John's now plummeting toward the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Fight Georgetown for the bottom spot. So,
yep.
Let's check on those stats. How about unsung hero tonight?
Sharif Mitchell.
I would go with that, Zach. How about you, Jerry?
Yeah,
That's a dad or Mason played some good minutes, but yeah, Sharif he came in off the bench and it was positive. So
yeah, he came in. Trey got those 2 early fouls. Reef came in, didn't make mistakes, hit a 3, and it's just like a feel good thing to see him come in and contribute like that when it hasn't exactly been his season. So I'd give it to Reef.
Yep.
Yeah.
Are we even gonna do worst call of the night?
Let's go. Let's start discussing it.
I think Reef might get the benefit on that one too, because on that foul at the end of the shot clock in the first half, that was a
Hey Zach, how's our? We got no emails.
No emails.
Okay.
We're just got one. Just got one.
Okay, I saw somebody was joining, and I was like, "How are they joining?" I didn't send out a link, so anyway,
I didn't send out the link yet.
Okay.
Hold on, let me see.
Yeah, I don't know where to start on that one.
Go ahead.
The
second half where Kalk was going to go up for a lob and he just kind of shoved him out of bounds. And
In defo.
Yeah.
I could see that from my bar stool in Tampa. I mean, just shoved and call.
I thought he got hammered in the second half on one right underneath. I mean, Samuels clearly hit his arm. I mean, and I was just like, okay, he's got 3 fouls. They're not going to put a 4th on him, because Kalkbrenner's not going to miss that very often.
Yeah. I don't know. Baylor's charge call there in the second half, the free throw line. Like I said, Tim, the guy flopped back. I don't know if Baylor extended his arm, but like you said, when the guy's hanging on you when you're driving, it makes it hard. And when you try to create separation and then they flop back like they got hit like a Mack truck, it's pretty frustrating.
Yeah, I thought the one too that Kaluma got. They said he shoved off. I didn't think he shoved off, and usually he does. I didn't think that one he shoved off much. I thought he was just going to the hole, and the guy's the guy is riding him down the baseline. I mean, there should have been a whistle there.
Oh yeah.
And then I cracked me up. Then they finally called it, and then the player, the
guy's bitching about it.
Oh, he shoved me off. And I was like, are
right.
you kidding me?
Right.
That's where we need that one ref. That one game goes, that's a foul in any level of basketball.
Right.
Hey, Mike's joining us. Hello, Mike.
Hey, it's the Creighton University Raiders. Just win, baby.
Just win. Well, but we were talking, Schmitty, though, like, except for the turnovers, okay, which is a big if, right? That may have been one of our better offensive performances. Not just that we shot the ball well, but we were really taking what they were giving us. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. And gosh, the last 15 minutes of the game, can't ask for much more than that. And part of it was that the refs swallowed their whistles and there was some flow to the game. But I don't think I have a whole lot to add to what you guys have talked about, other than I'm enjoying my post-game cocktail a whole lot more than I was about 40 minutes ago. So.
Yeah. The other thing that's kind of overlooked too, defense was good, but the key there was we really wiped down the boards, man. They got no second looks that whole last half and the second half.
Wiped down the boards. Trey Alexander, obviously the X factor in the second half. And hey, there's a little nugget in that box score if you saw it. You're looking. Can you find it?
I didn't see it. We haven't gotten it yet. We haven't got the official one yet.
Okay. Well, yeah, this isn't official, so I could be jumping the gun here, but we've got a $3 trillion in there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ben?
Ben, yeah.
He was only in for a minute. Seemed like he was in longer because the reason I thought he was in longer was because he got beat 4 plays in a row.
Yeah, he recovered okay on one of them.
Yeah, he did.
But I think that's one of those, like, I think Ben's going to be just a tremendous player. And someday, he can point out to his $3 trillion at Seton Hall when he was a freshman. But yeah, that and I mean, what can you say
that
about
means
Mason
no
Miller?
turnovers though.
Absolutely. Hey, we'll take that.
No kidding. Yeah, one thing I noticed on defense, what he's doing, he's in there and he knows he doesn't want the guy to beat him. So he's guarding him like 3 feet back. Well, that's a just recipe to let a guy go around you, right?
Not this league.
Yeah. So he'll learn that though. I mean, he's just got to get up on that guy and get up on the girl a little bit and have the confidence that you can stay with him.
But yeah, I couldn't be more thrilled to see Mason step up, and man, that last 3 he nailed. One footer, total chuck, but bottoms, man, that's all that matters. And he played some good D too. Really, if we could get those kind of minutes from Mason,
yes,
down the stretch, if Farabello can just, if he can just hit 1 or 2 of those a game that get halfway down, that's all we need down the stretch. I thought Reef was okay tonight, minus the fouls and the turnovers, but he stepped up in a tough spot and
he got a horrible call too. That one where he put his arms straight up, he didn't do anything. The guy went into him.
He also had no turnovers.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. That's why he was our unsung hero, Mike.
Okay. Well, I think there's about 5 or 6 where we maintained verticality and didn't do anything but have a pirate jump into our chest and somehow got a magical foul call. So
yeah.
Good luck doing worst call tonight because we were struggling. Close your eyes and point in the first half.
Well, you know what? One of the worst calls of the night may have been one in the last 20 seconds. Kalkbrenner was just laughing about it when he just went straight up and called a foul. Like, what? You haven't called that all night long.
Like, and it's like, look, the game's over. There was like 23 seconds left. Yeah, come on.
Yeah, it didn't even matter for the spread either.
No.
So we can't even give the ref the benefit of the doubt on him betting
on
the game.
Over. We crushed the over. I thought 133. I'm like, oh, come on. I know Seton Hall can't score, but that's really low, man. That's really
what an odd first half. I mean, between the fouls, between the turnovers, and both teams just
40 to 39.
Still getting it in the bucket.
Yeah. It didn't crush the over by much though. It was shooting over in the first half. It only went over by 4 points.
So they've caught up now. I was enjoying spoiled Jay Wright night, but they're back on top.
It's a 4-point game.
Well, DePaul was up like 11 or 12 points early.
Well, I got 2 screens up. I got the Providence game on one, but I got the thrilling West Virginia Iowa State game on. Wow, what a barn burner! It's just been 1 point the whole game.
Nice, but this is nut cutting time when as you know, Mr. Bracketologist. Teams are scrapping for their lives here, and just so much good basketball going on. Although, did you guys talk about Marquette last night?
We did.
Wow, didn't see that coming.
Oh, I thought UConn was going to win.
I thought UConn was going to win, but I didn't think Marquette would totally no-show. They've done a good job of that all year.
But again, like we were talking, they made their hay at home. They haven't had a tough grind-out game like we just played right here. Let's see how they do. Now they got Xavier. They got to come to our place, and they got Xavier. But I think other than that, they're pretty much free.
Yeah, that's one where we're really going to need. I mean, is that a Tuesday or Wednesday?
That's a Tuesday night game.
Yeah, we're going to need people to show up and give the pink out Villanova crowd. And boy, I think UConn's going to get an earful come Saturday as well.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it.
Absolutely.
They got Georgetown Saturday, which is just a gimme, and then they got Xavier at home, then at Creighton. But they have a week off in between those games, so that's huge for them.
Yeah.
But then they go at Butler and they have DePaul and St. John's at home. I can't see them losing either one of those. So yeah, we kind of almost have to win that game, have any chance at winning the title, because they're not going to lose. Oh well, they can lose to Xavier, I guess.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
Xavier's got to lose one of these. You know what I mean? But I think they've got a little bit of a tougher road here. Yeah, they've got the Marquette game, and then they've got DePaul, Villanova, Seton Hall. They've got Providence left yet too. They got to go at Seton Hall and at Providence.
So you would know, Tim. What is the tiebreaker?
So the tiebreaker is, first of all, head-to-head. If it's a 2-team, okay, or even 3, it's head-to-head. Then it goes down to, it's very similar to the way the Valley did it. You go down okay, so let's say all 3 of us are tied, okay? Let's say there's a 3-way tie between us. Let's say we beat Marquette once, so us, Xavier, and Marquette, okay? They would then go down to the 4th place team and go, did all of you beat that team? What was your record there? Oh, all 2-0. Okay, how about the 5th place team? Oh, Xavier, you were only 1-1. They were 2-0. You're out. Now it's just putting us in Marquette.
Okay.
But then it reverts back to head-to-head. So, for instance, if we end up tying and Marquette beat us twice, then they would win it right there. But if not, then they would revert back to the same thing all the way down the schedule again. So I think that's the fairest way. So really, like, Xavier losing to DePaul doesn't hurt him on a tiebreaker situation.
Okay.
Other than
that makes sense then.
That loss, yeah.
Well, that's good for us beating Seton Hall twice then.
Oh yeah,
that's big.
Yeah, because it could be UConn, it could be Seton Hall, it could be Villanova. So we got to beat. If we could beat Villanova twice, beat Seton Hall twice, as long as we survive that tiebreaker against UConn, we're in great shape then. Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, when are we going to start drinking for Saturday?
Well, it's 11 a.m. tip. I mean, I guess
it's a 1 p.m.
I mean, have I started already? I don't know.
I don't know if you heard our interview with Miller, but I said you do realize that our fans and their fans hate each other, right?
Well, at least the online portion do. Yeah.
I think they pretty much all. I mean, they got to be arrogant, just like
Yeah,
they've quickly become a rival. Even in they're kind of a rival in baseball too. There's them at Seton Hall.
Yeah.
I guess for a while it was St. John's when we first got in the league. Ed didn't like their coach, and then it was definitely Seton Hall in baseball, and then kind of oh man, I just thought of something for Wednesday, Zach, but I'll get with you on that later. All right. Hey, Mike, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
We got a show.
We have to get to our worst call of the night discussion.
Well, you guys might be here until tip-off Saturday with that.
All right. Thanks.
See you guys.
All right, Jerry, I'll let you start off. Can you pick one out of the whole bunch?
Am I still on?
Yeah, you're good.
Man, I'm gonna go with the shove on Kalkbrenner on that alley-oop. I could see that. I mean, that's something a ref's got to catch. Your big guy's going up for the dunk, and a guy shoves him from behind, out of bounds, and no call. Either that or the Baylor charge on the free throw. I thought the guy flopped big time after, the guy's holding you the whole time you're trying to move. Those are my two.
All right, Zach.
I'm still going with Reefs. I think time and place makes it even worse because it was the end of the shot clock and the guy just jumped into Reef as he was backing up. And that was 3. Was that 3 or 4 on him? That was 3. That was the third one. That was the third one on Reef. Mac dropped down to one knee. That's enough. That's enough for me to name that one.
Well, not only that, there's 1 second left in the shot clock.
Yeah, that's what really compounded it. That was bad.
And then the guy threw up and didn't hit iron.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's up there with me too. Trying to think of what else. What other one? Yeah, I guess I like Jerry's too though with
Yeah.
Schreierman. I thought Schreierman got screwed on a couple calls. But I'll go with Reef because Reef doesn't get it often. So, but Jerry had a good one too. There was a lot of like Schmitty said, there was a lot of them.
There's some games where it's hard for me to pick one because there just weren't very many. This one it's hard to pick one because there were probably 10.
Just is, yeah. Let's see if we can pull up a different set of here we go. Here's a box score. Let's see. All right, so Kaluma had 11-7.
Yep.
3 turnovers. Kalkbrenner 13-4, 2 assists though. 1 block, 2 turnovers.
He was only credited
Trey
with
Alexander
1 block.
8 points, 3 rebounds, 8 assists. What a night there. He did have 2 turnovers. Ryan Nimhart 15 points. Another great game by Ryan, man. 4 assists. He did have 3 turnovers. And one time he dribbled it. I didn't understand. Kalk came over to set a screen way in front of the Creighton bench. And, like, you could tell it was all clogged up there. Like, Kalk should either rolled out or Ryan should have picked up his dribble and got rid of the ball. Baylor had 19 points, 6 of 12 from 3. Or 5 of 10 from 3, excuse me. Made both his free throws. He did have a big 6 turnovers, though. But he had 9 rebounds.
Yeah. Those threes at the end of the game.
Damn near another double-double. He almost had a triple-double with turnovers.
I would have counted it.
Ryan, Mason Miller, 6 big points.
Yeah.
4 rebounds.
4 rebounds. Big. 3 offensive rebounds.
Yeah. He's a really good offensive. You know, we have 2 guys off our bench are our best offensive rebounders, King and Mason.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
King got another big offensive rebound tonight. And he wasn't in there very long, you know?
Yeah, someone actually just asked a good question. How many minutes did R2 have?
40.
So he did play the whole game. Wow.
He didn't. Because when Sharif came in for Trey. He didn't come in to spell R2.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm. And he was having to chase around dolls all night.
Yeah.
Got to be a tired guy coming.
Sharif had 7 minutes tonight. That's most of the season, probably. 3 points, 1 rebound. No turnovers.
How many minutes did he have?
3 points. He had 7. But I don't know what Schmitty's talking about. Ben had 3 minutes. He didn't have 1 minute. You got to have 1 minute to have a trillion.
No, trillion. You can have however many minutes. It's just not recording a single stat.
No, I thought that's why it's 1 trillion. I thought you had to have 1 minute.
It can be however many trillion. That's why it's 3 trillion. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Like I said, I've said it before on the show. I'm a huge Mark Titus fan, so I'm all over the club trillion.
The way it looks now, the way this box score does it on CBS, they put the minutes kind of in the middle of the box score, so it turns out to be 3 million. Yeah.
What are the first 2?
They start off way outward. They start off with points, rebounds, assists, field goals, 3-point percentage, free throws. Yeah.
Okay.
Then they go to minutes, which is a little bit weird. Let's see. For the game, though, we're 27 of 44, 12 of 20 from 3. All I can say, about damn time.
Yeah.
And an okay job from the free throw line, a little bit subpar from the way we've been shooting it, 9 of 13.
That's a testament to how well they've been shooting free throws this year.
Yeah, absolutely.
75% as a team is really good.
Absolutely. We shot 61 from the floor. They shot 43. We're the first. That was the highest percentage they've allowed all season.
That was the highest percentage any Big East team has allowed in Big East play.
60% from 3. Yeah, 69% from the free throw line. They were only 57% from the line.
They're not very good free throw shooting.
Yeah, they've got which is kind of odd because they've got some guys who kind of have a mid-range game too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We crushed them on the board, so we just absolutely murdered them. 35-16.
That's impressive.
I mean, they're just a small team, and when they got foul trouble, it was just like, it kind of kept us in the game. Now they show here 17 turnovers.
I know on Fox on the TV it was 18.
That 18, I know. Yeah. The points off ended up being 18-11, so it wasn't as bad. At one time, I was thinking it was 18-2 or
I
something.
think Seton Hall probably had 5 or 6 in the last 4 minutes of the game. Though.
Yeah, they did. They did.
And Dawes, I don't know if you saw that one. He made a couple, but that one he shot, it just got nothing but backboard. That was really forced. So I thought Seton Hall lost their composure the last 4 minutes, and we kept ours, and that was the difference.
Yeah, I think reality kind of set in for them, you know, and it was like, it's over. So right now we got Xavier. It's 11-2. They got a game in hand though. They've got Marquette's 11-3. Like Marquette's played 14 games. We played 13, and Providence only played 12. Although they're playing their 13th tonight. Xavier 11-2, Marquette 11-3, Creighton 10-3. Providence will tie Creighton at the end of the night, and then UConn 8-6, Seton Hall 8-6, but they've only played once, I believe. Correct? Let me check this out. I think they've only played once. Yes, they've only played once. So technically, tiebreaker-wise, Seton Hall would have it over UConn. So Seton Hall right now, like if the tournament started tomorrow, Seton Hall would be the 5th team. They would be out of the play-in game. UConn would be in the play-in game. Oh, my God. And they play Georgetown. How great would it be if Georgetown knocked them off first night?
Yeah.
And then it would be Villanova, DePaul. I'm sorry if I'm Villanova. That's a scary-ass game.
Yeah.
And then a rematch of last night's classic, St. John's and Butler would play. So in that scenario, UConn, let's say UConn won. UConn would play us in the first round. Seton Hall and Providence would play the 4-5 game. Villanova would play Marquette, the Villanova DePaul winner. And then the St. John's Butler winner would play Xavier. Man, that's a big advantage. Like, if you're 2-3, you can end up playing a really tough team in that first game.
Yeah.
And if you're number 1 seed, right now, the way it looks, you're going to play Butler or St. John's. Man, that's a huge advantage.
Yep.
So we got to win. We got to be the number 1 seed. All right. We by the way, we can't do highlights anymore. We see them, but you don't. So there's no reason to do them because of copyright, whatever rules. So it amazes me the technology nowadays that we're out here doing this little post-game show. We put up a highlight and somehow the
Big Brother finds out, huh?
Yeah, the logarithms pull it down.
Yeah.
Like, it's unbelievable. But anyway. All right. So some news. Okay. First of all, on the 22nd, there's a huge event going on at Copacabana, which is out on 180th and Center, out in the Shadow Ridge area. Huge event. The West O Chamber of Commerce is sponsoring it. We are helping them put it on. So it's called Bourbon and Blue Jays. So you're going to go to the Copacabana, and for a price, you're going to get all these tastings of bourbon, okay? So if you're a bourbon drinker, Blue Jay fan, this is a win-win for you. This is on February 22nd. It starts at 4 p.m. It'll probably run 6 to 7. We're going to be there. We're going to be doing a podcast that won't be live, but we'll be doing a podcast that we will air later that night from there. We'll probably kick off around 5:30. We're hoping to have some Creighton coaches there, some other people associated with Creighton being there as well. So please support the event. Next Tuesday on the Providence post game, we're hoping to have the head of the West Chamber of Commerce on our show to kind of promote the event. So make sure that you circle that on your calendar and come and support the West O Chamber of Commerce, all the great work they do in West Omaha area. Saturday, we will not have a post-game show. One of the few we're not going to have, okay? We all have commitments that day right after the game. So there won't be a post-game after the game. There will be a show. No, there will not be a Blue Jay Banner next Monday as well, because we will have a post-game on Tuesday. Correct, Amundo? Yes, that's how I've been doing it. We've got it one day out. We'll go right to the post-game on Tuesday. So no Blue Jay Banner next Monday. But on Tuesday, we will have a post game of Providence Creighton. Then we will also have one the following weekend after the St. John's game, which is a Saturday night game. Then we're going to go on a run because we're going to have Blue Jay Banner on Monday on President's Day. We're going to have a post game after the Marquette game on Tuesday, and then we'll do the Bourbon and Blue Jays thing on Wednesday. So we'll have it. We'll be getting our work in. All right. Also want to mention, Zach mentioned earlier, bracketologists. If you're into that sort of thing, and most of you are, we are again having our mock selection committee, the 2023 mock selection committee. We always do that reveal, so that will be on Friday, February 17th. We're going to tip that off at 6 p.m. on Friday, February 17th. So go to our YouTube channel. It is mock selection committee, right, Zach?
Yes.
Okay, so go to that channel. I put up a video on how I formulate a bracket, or at least not really formulate a bracket, but how I compare teams using the team sheet. So I think you'll get some good information out of that, what the committee looks at. So that's already up on that site. So if you want to go check it out, so you have it, go and subscribe to it. So when these selections come up for the top 16 reveal, and then also March 2nd, we'll start our total mock selection committee where we'll pick the entire field of 68. That will conclude that Sunday. March 2nd is a Thursday. It'll conclude Sunday with a selection show. So those are all the things we got going on, which is a lot. Jerry, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Look forward to Saturday. Should be fun.
Oh, man, it's going to be a riot. Big win for the Jays. Thank you to Zach. Thank you to all our callers, and we'll see you on next Tuesday is when we'll see you, but we'll